divine.
Prepare for battle.
You might wish to retract your last move.
Thank you so much, Sheever. Yes, magical Dota. And of course, we got some magical voices, but more importantly, magical players. Trent, it's freaking happening. Game number 5. What more could you want? I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, this is what we're hoping for when it comes to a best of 5. We all want this. We don't want another one of these repeats, like crushing 3-0s, like we might have witnessed yesterday. OG
30
dishing that one out
battle.
quite handedly. Not so much this time.
No, we're seeing something different this time around, and I'm personally feeling like you've got 2 very different types of drafts. The panel was already alluding to it. On the side of OG, mid one is going to be the big, beefy little fish man that he can be, and then just everybody else wants to put heroes in front of him so that you can punch him in the face. And on the other side, Virtus Pro, it's a little bit more finessey. It's a little bit more jumping in and out. You know, you do have a big, scary PA, but she's not as empowered as mid one is likely to be.
Yeah, it's not your typical PA game. No Slider, no Magnus. Really, there's an interesting kind of amplification, I suppose. I wonder if that was partially why they went for this Undying, was like they could hope they could get some sort of a Flesh Golem, but trying to get Flesh Golem debuff onto any of these cores is very difficult. So I think it's mostly just a laning stage decision here from them to try and secure that lane for epileptick1d.
We already see the tips going around as we were loading into the game. There was mass tips on the epileptick1d again, and he's been the brunt of the tip receiver so far.
He's got so many relics.
He's gonna be ready to go, man. The other thing that's going to be interesting though is GPK playing on this Viper. You know, the only thing that I saw that's kind of cute about it is the Nether Toxin against the Slark and like the way it works with Essence Shift and stuff like that. But besides that, kind of a more focused on the lanes heroes, they were saying.
Yeah, not again, not your common Viper game, but it could be a really good game for just an Athos too, I guess. It's kind of annoying, I guess, versus Slark and Puck for various reasons, but it's also just one of the best ways to still activate a Viper early. And it does feel like they still need control, so even though it's like kind of ugly, I feel like it's still necessary here.
Right. Well, and maybe the goal is going to be to try and, you know, accelerate epileptick1d into some good farm and try and mess around a little bit either with mid one or, you know, just even trying to make the move over to mess with the puck. Anybody that you can start slowing down their game is going to be good. Slark might not always be that hero, but there's a chance he could be. Mid one going up against DM here, spamming out that Whirling Death. 2 more mangoes in hand.
I thought the Dark Willow pick was very interesting, because there was quite a few options still on the table for OG, and when that's left for Soxa, that's kind of frightening. As up top, I guess we'll have to wait, because they do get a decent block up, but not quite the block you need for that kill to happen.
Trees? Oh, not quite there. Yeah, it would have been nice, but couldn't quite get in the end.
But, I mean, pretty big benefits to the Willow in this game. I mean, namely, I think it's that the PA jumps on you. You just instantly go into your Shadow Realm if it's still up, so it gives you a little bit of spacing in that. That's always helpful. And then, I guess the running of the bears? Do you think they do that? You know? Yeah, we have running of the bulls, right? Well, but, I mean, I feel like they always try and one-up everything, so... We did a running of the bears. That's this game, because if they get RP'd into Coil, into Terrorize, we're gonna have a 5-man of that, and then they're all gonna run and snap it for this giant wombo combo from OG. Now, we didn't get the kick into the black hole. I understand that, but I think we should have high aspirations.
True. And, you know, even just like using the Magnus viewer after like a big RP with the Coil could also work out.
No, that's not as cool. You see, then it's only 2 heroes. You're not getting it, Lyrical. Running of the bears. It's not the pushing of the bears, all right?
You want them to run out of it. Okay, I see what you're saying now.
All about the showmanship. Ilias, he's getting bullied here by Soxa. Soxa can just play in this lane. That is annoying. Why? How are you allowed to do this versus Undying and anyone? Oh, is he doing the walk of shame?
Yeah, he is. Interesting. At least he's gonna walk all the way home. They're pressuring up top though.
It's an empowered mag too, so he's pushing the wave in where he hits, so it's kind of all right.
Yeah. Epileptic Kid can try and just farm a little bit with daggers here and there. His mid lane trying to go onto GPK, but we'll drop down another toxin afterwards. Does get a deny there, and another one on top. So having a little bit of a catch-up time because he's been a bit behind the Viper.
Yeah, it would appear that his fingers are okay again. He had a nice break with the Midas AA, chilled out, pretty much just sat on lanes and did nothing. That time it actually wasn't.
Dire's middle tower is
but
under attack.
The game has been given back to Thompson. Okay, he can move around the map, he can set stuff up, and like, why would you ever want to take that away from us?
Yeah, this is where he's the strongest. Not rushing Midas on AA, but obviously we'll try and make some good moves here. Picks up the haste rune. Can't really do that much. It's just so annoying playing against Viper when you're this like magic-oriented hero. Granted, can dodge away from the poison attack, but they just come around afterwards. And No Tail trying to give the rundown a little bit here to save. It's crazy to me that just base this Omni Knight has 310 movement speed. Kind of crazy.
Don't point that out too much.
No? Okay.
But that'll be gone real fast.
Dire's top tower.
Wait, this is gonna be 4 stacks
attack.
up. Can you get another one? No Tail's dead. First blood, drawn by save.
The next level,
So that's a play. That's a tip on the dead body. Mid one is just trying to farm out of his tower, still harassed by this timber, but Ilias
Dire's courier
gets his courier
has been
standing
killed.
still at the side shop. Nice. Was Seb waiting for maybe a bottle or something?
Yeah, that must have been what it was. But it'll get taken away now. And actually, Arcane Boots were able to get finished for the Shadow Demon now after that kill. So that is a nice little boon for them up here in this top lane. Bounty runes, at least so far, going the direction of Virtus Pro. They're going to leash now up top. He's banished for the moment. DM does some pretty good damage back on the mid one. But No Tail was there yet again.
Same time bottom.
Save. Well, can they do anything else down here? Trying to kill off Ilias. And they'll back off yet again.
It started with a quick stun up with the Cursed Crown onto Ilias, and they kind of chase him to the trees, and then the double skewer back, and kind of similar up top. Everyone's trading spells and trying to find some way to commit for the full kill, but then they can never quite get the control that's required. Pops him with the value orbs mid lane, hitting his creeps and the small camp.
Very, very close. Save's gonna run into No Tail yet again. Yeah, that block there is gonna be nice, but they'll still have access to the Ancients at the very least if they want to go and stack some of that up. But mid one is level 6 now. Timbersaw's still a little ways away.
Seb is rich though. He is at like almost 2,800 net worth right now.
Damn.
Yeah, those are like all lane. That's actually kind of crazy.
And on the other side, Epileptic Kid is the lowest out of all of the cores right now. I guess those two just sort of go hand in hand, but they're going to bring over Ilias now, trying to catch Seb, but he has Skewer to get out of there if he wants to. Soul Rip did a lot of damage, but not enough to get the kill onto Mag. They'll at least force him out of the lane.
Yeah, and that's pushing in towards them too, so now Seb basically has to try and like stack going or something. There's an Obs also scouting his movement back in, so he might get punished here. There's Skewer back in 3 seconds though, so they're not going to find the window. Seb very cautious with his timings there. And he pings that ward instantly, says, yeah, they are definitely watching me again.
Radiant are scanning.
So no chance for a secured kill there. And as you can see, it's still very close. Like, you look at the net worths, there's only about 300 gold separating all of them amongst the cores. It feels like the first people that start to make those rotations, which is normally a puck, are going to be the sort of deciding factor of how this game goes.
Also, much better at defensively rotating than aggressively. I mean, you still can, but it's just like those two hero dives you're just such a heavy punisher on, and they have this like Undying and PA who would both have to like jump under the tower to get Seb, so I think Thompson partially might just want to wait for that sort of a play, most likely. It's so much easier with the tower helping.
Right. Yeah, that makes all the difference. And maybe they try and do something with Timbersaw a little bit later on. He does have 3 points up right now in the armor.
Thompson has gotten way too much though.
You think?
With how GBK kind of like moves back, but Thompson has been very efficient on these camps, like hitting his stacks. He's hitting the wave as well as VM dropping low. First crown comes through.
DM, he's getting hit here a little bit. Tries to get out of there. Does have another pounce in 7, but with stick charges, DM makes the escape. So that rotation will not work, and instead it's mid, where a beautiful tombstone is laid down. That thing was gorgeous.
Yeah, yeah, that's the new one.
But GPK is just going to back out of the tower range. They jump onto him yet again. Mid 1 doing some good damage. That they pop the ulti afterwards. Silence, though, that stops the disruption. So that will make sure that the Viper goes down, and likely the Shadow Demon to fall afterwards. Mid 1 making that rotation. Thompson gets the kills.
And that's what we're talking about with the coil. Like, those are, I don't know, it's just so good when you're doing it under your own tower like that, because it lasts for so long that it doesn't matter. Like, they have to go for the instant snap, because if you don't go for the instant snap, then there's gonna be all these TPs in you're gonna punish. So you're just kind of screwed either way.
True, yeah.
And that was all with a straight up tombstone drop, as you said, to just like try and force the tower down.
Ooh.
Now, he got caught up during the orb.
Nicely done by Save.
And he went for the TP too.
Yeah, that was really good by VP. And now again, they have an opening here to try and pressure this tier 1 tower. And I think OG used all their TPs to get there.
Exactly. Now they can't come back because everyone TP'd in before. So that all just became suddenly not worth it, with Thompson dying and immediately giving up the tower right after. That's a heavy mistake to make, I think. Because now this is the Viper's game plan, right? Where he wants to get into this Atos, and getting this out of the way is so much better.
Laughing out a little bit.
That was our first tower. Yeah, that is a little bit late there, compared to the 5 minutes some have achieved.
They're going to move on in here, leave the regen room for epileptick1d. They're going to start to pressure and get through all these stacks as well. But tier 1 tower top is where they want to go next. This lineup from VP does feel like it just wants to keep on rolling, keep that momentum going if possible.
Yeah, it's kind of their only game plan. They don't really have team fight, right? I mean, their team fight is like Tombstone. And there's no like solid initiations on multiple heroes or anything like that. It's very single target focused in that respect.
Yo, DM got the tree.
Oh, that's a good one.
DM got the tree. Look out, mid 1. He's gonna tree ya. Be careful. He's body blocking, so there's no pounce away. The rest of them are moving on in. They chase down and try and find the kill here on a mid 1, but no tail. It's gonna stop that for now at least, but the chase comes continuing from DM. Tries to get the finish, and the shot through gets the kill.
I love this matchup. I find this matchup so, it reminds me of Axe Dazzle, where it's like, yeah, I can Culling Blade like through your Shadow Grave, but if you stand in the wave, I can also hit it with the Shadow Wave and do a ton of damage. Like, we got a little bit of each thing going versus each other. When it's Timber Saw, I can slice right through that ulti. I do not care at all.
Yeah. You just need to be in enough of a lead, it feels like, for the Timber to sort of survive through the damage that comes from the rest of them. And Virtus Pro make the big move, take the tier 1 tower now. 11 minutes. The coil, though, used mid on epileptick1d. Trying to turn. They have TP rotations coming to try and keep her alive. Hobson decides to stick around, and that might be his own demise as the chase comes and the puck will fall.
He took AA because his keyboard's broken. Not getting the orb outs here. Something's going on.
At the same time, down bottom, they managed to kill off DM. That's a nice kill for mid 1.
Top tower is under Radiant's bottom tower.
Big kill for him, and also a big item for the team with the mech now being done for Seb. So they catch Thompson again. I'm sure he's going to be looking to turn this one around pretty fast for himself. He has that urn, and he has an E-Blade queued up.
Save.
Which is a pretty cool option for these heroes.
Disruption himself. They're underneath the tier 2 tower. Save. Tries to juke out the other direction. Seb makes the move and even to secure the kill. They were giving him no way out. Mega dead. As the Omni able to TP away from danger. Thompson trying to chase here. It's a little crazy. If he can get Ilias, that would be nice. Still has that urn, and he's just going in on it.
Oh, there's the debuff.
I mean, he's alone. Coil going to be used afterwards. None of his friends are around for Thompson. He does have orb back up in a second, and that's going to be enough. And like these annoying little, jump in plays by Thompson, trying to slow down the farm of the PA.
Yeah, and the game speed overall too, with like the Undyne being forced to pop his ulti there, try and chase you down. That's a cheeky little play. And Dream Coil is obviously a pretty low cooldown these days. 70 seconds is not a big deal in the current Dota world. They are gonna smoke without it though. Yeah, I think Thompson's just gonna go farm or something. They Willow Omni support?
Radiant
okay,
are
no.
scanning.
Thompson's coming too, even without the coil.
All right.
This feels like a waste of time for Thompson. I don't think he wants to be here.
Yeah, and they're not
he got
going
goaded into this by Soxa or something.
Yeah. If they run up to high ground here, this could be nice. Ilias, if he's there to break the coil, or rather break the smoke.
Look at that. They have the sentry. They spotted that ward being placed. They know they're smoked here.
Radiant's
oh, wait, what?
has been killed.
I thought they did. They pinged it.
Yeah, they're going to take it down now, and Thompson reveals himself right there for a moment. Ooh, they thought about going. Throws out the chain.
Yeah, I don't know what I saw that too. That was something.
Is Thompson really gonna try and go in here? I guess not. I mean, the thing is, like, GPK's showing in lane, down bottom, they had save there, but OG's still not feeling confident to take this fight. 4-4 again in a very close game number 5, and neither team has really drawn meaningful blood yet, it feels like. There hasn't been that big fight that's sort of pulling one team out ahead.
So do you think he's going to do the E-Blade? Do you think he'll do it? I mean, it is pretty cool versus the PA.
Okay.
Right? And even Viper, there's some merit to it in some sense, right? But it seems, I mean, he just fought the Ghost, and he's keeping it cute.
Okay.
It does limit their initiation potential pretty heavily. But I also feel like VP are kind of forced to play a bit aggro, too.
Find him again. He was blurred. They get him. Has the soul rip afterwards. Keeping Epileptic hit fine. The chase down coming. DM wants to find these heroes and see if they can chase. They're up on this high ground though. They have an idea.
Chase the courier. Man. DM is just so happy he got this tree.
This is really.
There was even a tree there and he's still doing it.
Can't stop him. So you know what's interesting is when Omni Knight first started to make its like main appearance in the pro scene, it was actually in China, and it was Newbie that was playing it a lot with like a Slark being out in front. He was always just leading the charge, and kind of playing it the same way here as well. As Epileptic1d gets separated from the rest of them, RP comes out, Seb is there, they're gonna blow him up. Very quickly done.
And I think this will be an important part of how Thompson wants to play, and that's just being paired with Soxa all the time. Because that to me makes a lot of sense, and that's synergy-wise of how much you'll get out of a Dream Coil, especially with an E-Blade. That's going to be a crazy amount of damage.
Just have the ulti on top of him, the Bedlam. Okay.
Zapper. No. Bug Zapper.
But at the same time, the reason I brought that up is it feels like as the game gets later, yeah, you can initiate with Thompson, but you can also just like send Slark in with Heavenly Grace on him, and like, how do you stop that hero? It's really hard to control him. There's no stuns, as the panel talked about a couple times. Yeah,
Atos is not going to be reliable enough. They do not have that one answer. In the end, it just becomes explosive damage from Epileptic1d.
Pushing down. Hey,
that was a nice
no,
eyes.
Completely.
Yeah, you want it both.
It's going to connect. He's in trouble. No Tail is going to get ran down. The Terrorize not used yet. They're dodging away from it. Hits onto nobody. No Coil, no
they
Terrorize.
They're going to back all focus.
See if they can find that finish. Break in, run, jump through. Tries to control those freaking brambles though. Now the chase down doesn't have another pounce for 4 seconds. And mid one will fall.
These guys have amazing communication. They are so good at just like whoever is talking, they just listen to, you know?
Yeah.
There were a couple fights going on there, and then you see that Slark get disrupted, and it was just like their AI who just got this like switch flipped in their head, like target Slark, and they just all immediately start marching towards him to surround him when he comes out of that disruption. Because as you said, there's no real way to lock him down, so they got to put all their efforts in and save. Keeping out purification, not enough. It's only level 2.
Close. All right. Still, this game on a knife's edge, and I'm not sure what it's going to take to sort of separate these ones out here, but you're seeing the PA sort of get caught up a little bit with the Slark. Just going to jump away, leaving that last Mud Golem in the camp, not wanting to chance getting caught by Soxa. who has completed the Veil. This ward going to be dropped down in Vision. That one will be taken away in just a moment. And
that
so
is
often
something that
Vision's
has
wins.
changed throughout this series. I think is just the Sentry battle has felt fiercer as we've progressed throughout this. It's like I feel like there's way more sentries down this game compared to the one before, and likewise from 3 to game
Radiant's
4.
bottom tower is under
Well,
attack.
and you remember in that game number 3, that was the Sentry, or that was the ward that won them so many of the engagements. DM, they have save behind if they need it. But again, OG stepping forward here while
Radiant's
PA is on the
bottom
other side of the
tower
map
is
just
under attack.
farming. Likewise, Thompson was pressuring there on the bottom lane. And the wraparound coming now from mid 1. He has Blink Dagger done. Haven't seen that in a while. Thompson,
Radiant are scanning.
run into him. Atos, able to dodge, and he's out.
I think that speaks to
mid one.
exactly your point, though, right?
Jumps. He's broken and has to run away for a moment. Still has that Viper strike on him.
That's why Thompson's not buying Blink in this sense, is that they really are just sending mid 1 in first and trying to play everything off of that. And that's why Seb's Blink will be really important in that regard.
Jump in.
That's a tempting RP.
Everyone finds him on GPK. Coil afterwards. Leashed up. Can they get out of here in time? Lots of damage coming from DM. The terrorize afterwards. It's in on everybody. Running away is the Viper. They're going to pull him back in and take him down. Trying to find that kill now. Epileptick1d take down Seb. We'll get one. And look at the damage coming in from Epileptick1d, who finds him at the end. The tombstone gives them the vision, and they'll chase down another win. 4 dead for the Viper. Thank you very much, OG. As
Yeah,
they're
that's
gonna
a worthy
chase
buyback.
Thompson. Oh, baby. Disruption afterwards. No getting away from you, mister. Unless he's able to get the Waning Rift out. But will not happen.
That was really close to Roche killing him with the illusions.
That's a good point. Damn,
Oh,
dude.
Tombstone is so good even in a bad Undying game. The vision, those zombies just chasing the Slark. What a beautiful play. I thought that was going to go really well for OG. I mean, with how that started with the coil and then the skewer in, the RP from Seb only ended up hitting onto 1, but I think it was the Viper at that point.
Yep, this time by the Viper. So we'll see if he decides to go for that one as well. But how much has changed to you with that last engagement? Like, does it feel like Virtus Pro are pulling away at all, or are you still feeling like this is right on the wire?
No, I would definitely say they're pulling away. Like, that was a Blink Dagger fight for a Slark. So he's taken, like, no farming item, no stats item, nothing like that. I went Blink for fights, and we lost the fight. That's like, scary stuff. Now, mind you, he has Empower, even Heavenly Grace chucked on him, so he can still keep up and everything, but in my eyes, that feels like it's probably a little problematic if you're OG.
Yeah. Well, and I think that also the fact that you're occasionally not getting those essence chip stacks is pretty annoying as well.
Yeah, you can see him repositioning in the fights, and that's not what you want to do with Slark, right? You just want to, like, hit. Which can also be hard if they're evil. Thompson is ready for the plays.
Well, Roche is going to be taken now. They drop the tombstone in here, and it is falling rather rapidly. And this is going to open up a whole new world for Virtus Pro. We'll see if OG decide to just split the map up now and where we go from here.
Him even has a Lotus Orb.
Oh.
It's kind of annoying. Between, like, the silences and the E-Blades and everything. 10 faster than this patch's average.
I like it. I think it's really good.
All right, but look at that, though. That is a heavy spell amp talent. 12%, and he has a Grow Bow. Okay. Yeah, 820 faster. This patch is fastest. Yeah, that does not surprise me. No one else rushed an E-Blade, it turns out, guys.
On Puck, at least.
Only Thompson, yes.
He's like, can I go back to playing Morphling, please? Is this a hint?
Yeah, I thought he just wanted to play Earth Spirit. Now I'm just confused. I guess he just wants to buy E-Blade, turns out.
True. He's just AFK farming here in the Radiant jungle and can play this aggressively because of that lack of lockdown that you have. As we continued throwing out these shadow poisons, Thompson's going to jump over to the other camp. They realize he's here.
I really want to see his full combo with the Veil from Soxa. He has 18% spell amp with the 2 nulls and the talent. All right, well, it doesn't work when he is Glimmer. Yeah, fair.
True.
Well done, Ilias.
I think that the other thing that's going to be interesting to watch is who buys the first sheep stick. You know, if we even see one of those, because if you get one of those on, like, for instance, Virtus Pro somewhere, that shuts down all these shenanigans from Thompson, but I'm not sure if it's worth it as opposed to like getting these other more survivability oriented items like GPK going for this force staff, you know?
I think they have problems. They have both glimmers on supports.
Oh, disruption. No tails nearby though. They find him. Jump. Tries to blow him up at the start, and they will get him. And mid one will TP out.
This E-Blade does not feel great.
No.
I have to say. I don't know. Like, maybe got it like really fast, it would be feeling better. But just with how, like, with the items that are on Virtus Pro, it just feels like it's really hard to make great use of it. Double Glimmer, Lotus Orb. I mean, BKB is going to be done fairly soon. There's a Blade Mail on the Viper.
Yeah, dude.
I tell you one thing, whenever he throws the thing out, I think he's probably going to be phase shifting.
That's true. He feels like he has to be. It's otherwise way too much damage. Puck's just going to get blown up. But top lane, it's 24 minutes. They're trying to take this tier 2 tower. The simultaneous move coming from OG, and they're actually going to get the other tier 2 tower first.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Because Thompson keeps the pressure on.
Dire's top tower.
But it looks like Virtus Pro want to stick around and secure this tier 2. There's been other games in this series where we've seen VP not want to give up that lead and give up a tower for the other tower. So this time they're opting to trade.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I will say, outside of the animation, Thompson is still a very annoying hero this game because Puck is, we've seen Puppy even utilize it as a support for this very reason of cutting waves, right?
Yeah.
It's a very tricky hero to track down. And we talked a lot about the stuns not being there for the Slark because he's going to be like the main focus in this game, but it also means that Thompson's going to have a much easier time doing these erratic plays. And all that pressure down bottom, now they still need to defend bottom, but they're also just poking away at the mid. And Virtus Pro are once again doing their tried and true strategy of just sticking together as mostly 5.
Yeah. Thompson did just blink in though. It is a little crazy. And they're right on top of him.
He has an actual blink now.
Oh, he got one.
Yeah, he's a real hero.
Radiant's middle tower has been
Thompson
denied.
then is doing really good. Okay. 3 cores right now from OG. All of them have farm. Likewise, you got some decent net worth onto the Viper and the Timber.
Did he ever E-Blade someone?
He tried to get the Undying.
Yeah, and then it got Glimmer Dash, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think from the time he bought this E-Blade, he was able to fully farm a Blink, which is kind of...
I wonder if they're going to be using it. It feels like they have to be using it more defensively, probably.
For sure, 100%. I think that's like the main focus of it this game. But I think the spell bonus would have been a nice touch if it wasn't for all the counterplay that's available on the side of Virtus Pro.
Toxa. Hot. They get it off. It's a lot of damage now onto the Dark Willow. If they can TP out, yeah, they'll be able to get out of there. Never mind. Auto roam. Pretty good.
All right, now I know there hasn't been a fight. Oh, there we go. Dominant offensively on that blast of shit. There's a BKB though, and well done to not pop it. I like that.
Still 15 seconds until the Aegis is going to be reclaimed. And that could have been a little bit of a scary timing for VP if OG were to hit it right, but they will get away, and it looks like that tier 2 tower top is going to be the extent of the objectives claimed with this Aegis for Virtus Pro. They also now have on Timbersaw the pipe completed. He's trying to work towards Ashiva's next. GPK, they catch him there with the Atos, dodges away for the moment, and then jumps out. Dude, what a hero.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They need something else to deal with this puck, because he's just going to be a thorn in their side forever.
Epileptic is going for the Abyssal before the Nullifier because of that, which means that if a fight comes out, there is still now plays for No Tail to make, whereas typically, with how this PA's game is going, you might think that Nullifier is going to come out much faster.
Right.
Versus the Omni Knight lineup.
Seb wants to cut again. He might just shockwave this one and blink out afterwards. Or we'll see what Seb wants to do. Maybe he'll cut the next wave instead. But they're pressuring tier 2 top now as well.
This is the true, what I always see as like dividing factor between tier 1 and tier 2. Or just like, not even tier 1, tier 2, but more like teams that just have a lot more experience at this level of Dota. And that's your ability to do exactly this when you're behind.
Mid 1.
Still no Basher. Be all right. Oh, I say that.
Over here as well. Okay, they go in. That's a lot of damage. One will manage to escape though afterwards. And God, look at Thompson. He's underneath the tier 3 tower.
Yeah.
Oh,
this is exactly the kind of plays you see from top teams.
Yeah.
When I see this, I mean, maybe it's just because Liquid are in this position so often, but this is classic Liquid. They're very good at this gameplay. Doesn't always amount to a win, but when you're in those low percentage situations, it can certainly help. And in this case, I mean, OG aren't necessarily that far behind. They're speaking as if they're like in a disastrous situation. They're actually doing quite fine. And if anything, I think Virtus.pro are probably getting annoyed right now. And okay, this I like. epileptick1d has now switched over to the nullifier because I think that they just need to suck it up and accept that it's going to be really annoying, and they need to punish the mistakes of OG a little bit in these team fights. They don't necessarily have the damage right now to fight you. So
DM. Okay, disruption, keeping him fine for the moment. He has the echo shell for himself afterwards from the Lotus Door. Rooted. Top ulti, jump into the middle of all of them. Mid one is in really deep. It's a lot of damage onto him. He pops the ulti though and tries to run away. So ripped. Keeping Ilias alive. They buy back a big coil onto everybody. GM's outside of this one for the moment. That blade mail did a ton of damage in mid one chase. Atos is going to connect, but he has the dark pack again to get away. Still keeping vision on him. No more dark pack afterwards. Can they bring down mid one in time? They want to do it. The chase is not going to be there. He gets out. Another save though, and still thinking about going in deeper.
They still
this
have
fight
RP.
started by the Roche fit. Meanwhile, epileptic1d finds no tail. He kills him as a die back in the river.
Oh, they want to punish him, but he blurred out. Yeah, the assassin comes to life.
What a sick play by epileptic1d to find No Tail trying to connect with his team. And they're able to take him down. And now that they find Thompson again. Thompson E-Blades tries to back away. All right, epileptic1d's on some stuff this game.
And he hit the big jump there. Don't get distracted, I think, is the key for Virtus.pro. They need to secure actual objectives here. I mean, they're going to grab the bounty runes, but it feels like OG are just trying to, like, pull them off the rails, right? They're pushing in that top lane. They're getting objectives. They even think they're going high ground, and suddenly they're lured to the mid for this fight. Now they're trying to lure them away from mid again.
Thompson goes for the jump now. Atos again dodged.
Oh, is that instant Roche?
Yes, it was.
Yes. That was like 1 second or something. And they have the courier in there. Wow, well prepared. These guys are nerds. Seb was right. Like, having your courier in there for the potential 1 second Roche actually paying off. If they capitalize on this is great premonition for them.
And mid one's down bottom. Now, he's taking a tier 3 tower. That's pretty big. They're going to TP one back, but if mid one is able to get out, this could turn really bad for Virtus.pro if they're not careful. Gotta be very
the Terrax.
JP's going to be used though. epileptic1d has the answer. Down bottom still, mid one took the tier 3 tower. He's going for Rax. But is it going to be worth it as they take down Saksa and get the Aegis?
He gets so slow, dude. He doesn't do enough. Like, I need my Magnus.
Oh, and the jump in, mid one taking a lot of damage there. Is going to pop into his ulti and try and run away, blink out, and it looks like he'll be fine.
That's only really scary if they still have that outpost, but it was actually taken.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting, Trent. So Aegis and Cheese on Virtus.pro now. And they do get the sheep stick on GPK.
And a smoke too. Yeah, I love the sheep. That's beautiful.
And they force tap him in. Oh, Thompson, he takes the wrong way. And he's caught. And he's dead.
We juked when he should have jived.
That might be an opening here. As Virtus.pro reveal the sheep stick, find the kill onto Thompson, dead for 60 seconds.
Oh, he's got a big item when he respawns though on that Aghanims.
Yeah.
That is pretty huge. Fortunately, it is into the Aegis.
Wait a minute. DM forcing mid one back, but they're going to cancel the TP back from the Viper. And it looks like they want to go high ground maybe, or at least pressure some more. They get the tier 2. Now they're gonna play it safer. Okay.
Mid one has just drastically increased his damage as well, picking up the full MKB. Now he's pretty beastly, and of course versus the Phantom Assassin, that's an extremely important thing to be grabbing. And we talked a lot about epileptic1d's items this game, and despite getting the Aegis, he's still going back for a more defensive item, the Satanic. Probably just thinking that they're really lacking damage overall on the side of OG, and it's not like I'm gonna die during Shadow Dance, right?
Right.
So as long as that doesn't happen, then I'm kind of okay with this. I don't necessarily need the Nullifier right now, although you can't lifesteal if you don't do any damage. So
that's a good point.
A well-timed Guardian Angel could be pretty gnarly.
It's
a technical term.
I'm getting goosebumps here. This is feeling like it's really going to get down to the wire. Like, we're 32 minutes in. Yes, the kill score is favoring Virtus.pro, but the net worth lead, only 3,000 gold separating these two squads. And it feels like it could go either way. Mid one finds DM. right at the start now. They're able to force him back for the moment. They're thinking about going high ground here. GPK starting to beat away at it.
That was a big wave to cut, though. Now that pressure is also coming through the mid lane, and they're all forced back to defend top. Or defend the high ground, rather.
Immediately, they take off the Curse Crown. Epileptic Kid not going to be stopped. They hex him out, though. Mid one. No, but the Heavenly Grace trying to keep him alive. Yay, afterwards, Epileptic Kid wants to stay alive here. DM is deep in the base as they're going in for those right clicks, trying to take down mid one, and nothing's there. DM gets the kill. He's dead for 70. Oh, my God. Virtus Pro. Have they done it? Have they broken high ground? They're going to get this tower at the very least. There's another wave back there, but nobody from OG is in position to kill that wave.
And saving a went back and glimmered the first creep. He's that concerned about someone going for a snipe. That is sick.
Now moving over towards mid next with no mid one for 50 seconds. They have a repair kit though. As occasionally happens in these games, they're trying to push in. Can repair kits save them? They don't have a clip.
They have 40 seconds and they have Scythe and Atos. Like they can't come anywhere near this again.
Terrorize. They hit
they got
now on Epileptic Kid, but the disruption on the other side. Seb forced away. No blink-in jumps from them at all. But the backline.
Yeah.
Eric Willow able to escape just barely. They throw the jump in now. Trying to find somebody, but they won't get Seb. They won't get Thompson. Tier 3 tower down low. 15 seconds until Slark is up. But this is 2 lanes of racks. Virtus Pro, they are so close to their first grand final victory. They can taste it. But can they close it out?
The GG items are coming out. Some Vlads on Ilias. They don't want to go anywhere.
Can they solve the problems? Can they end this game? Atos is there. Epileptic Kid goes in. Where's his Lotus Orb? Disruption save. Good play there. But do they have anything for afterwards? They try and go on to him right now. Still 40 seconds with the Aegis. The coil on the backline. Hex comes out afterwards. Dark Willow's dead. It's only going to be the first life for the PA. Can they find anything else afterwards? They take down that Shadow Demon gem on the ground. Ilias picks it back up. Shadow Demon buys back. He's going to try and jump into this fight. They catch Thompson for the moment, but he's able to get away. Broke in. Mid one. Backs out of there. Another repair kit used. Viper taking a lot of damage, but the cheese gets popped. He's living, but not for that much longer. Look at the damage coming out. They kill him. Thompson gets that finish. Heavenly Grace onto the Slark. They need to run down DM if they can. Everybody from Virtus Pro is trying to get out though. So they're going to leave him to his death. And in the end, Virtus Pro take 2 lanes of racks.
Radiant.
Yeah, the often disciplined Virtus Pro maybe staying a bit too long there once they lost 1 support. You could feel the difference once the Shadow Demon's gone, and also the Undying just out of mana, man. Like, this Glimmer Tape is expensive. By the time they were going to that last racks, he didn't even have enough mana for Soul Rip and 1 other spell. Like, he was sticking just to use a Soul Rip. So
yeah,
they had to kind of back it up a little bit there. Everyone was dropping low. Same thing with the Timber Saw. So well fought out there by OG. Perhaps a bit too long for Virtus Pro, but a very tough hold nonetheless.
And again, it's
in blue.
Radiant's middle tower is under
that sheet
attack.
stick makes all the difference. With Viper dead for another 20. Look at how free Thompson feels right now. He's just not afraid. And again, you've got the Wombo combo there for OG. There's RP that's back up in 40 seconds, but that Aghanim Scepter on Puck, the Terrorize that could come out. It could all turn south in a second. Thompson tries to keep the pressure on here, but moving back in. Oh, GPK, he's under trouble. They got the Hex. Oh my God, how is he getting out alive? Are you kidding me? Oh, just barely. The Hex on the Lincolns. Oh my goodness.
Seb is getting all the right items, man.
Dude, Trent, what the
I know, it's just like, oh jeez. Tough. But big item coming out here, the Nullifier for Epileptic Kid. Questions about buyback will probably be determined by the agent, I would guess. Ooh, the Ninja Gear. Yeah, he drops it down. Who gets... Oh, Save get that? Oh, I love having this one of support. Feels so good. Oh, no, he passed it off.
Okay.
Hand it off to everybody.
It's done.
Oh, no, he's got it. He's got it back.
Okay. Surely. Down bottom.
So good on Shadow Demon with the gem, too.
Mid one is going to hit away at this melee fast. Yeah, has the Solar Crest. Nobody else is nearby. And again, you know, you've got
not another one of these
50% status resistance.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Dude, they're not super confident. Okay, jump out there. X is available. Ooh, not perfectly timed as the Banish came out at the same moment. Broken, tries to back away. Look at the dagger that's just 1600 grit. Hits there on to no-tail. No more Omni at all. The Fear's gonna push the Undying away. kill him in time. GPK tried to save the life, and they're able to get out with Epileptic Kid. GPK ran in there after the mid one, barely able to escape.
Oh, Sox is going to the big play in the back.
Can they do it? Can they finish them? TP out of there, and he's gonna get away. Oh my God.
They want the
they going back in?
Yeah, mid one got out at like 10 HP. Now he's back in.
No more RP, but mid one building up those stacks. Doesn't have any. Look at this. The Essence Shift only 9 stacks every time they get that Nether Toxin down. And still, they don't manage to take the melee racks. It's gonna regen back up.
I'm not convinced they're leaving quite yet.
I know.
I'm not sure if they are either. Yeah, I would agree. That's probably the wise call, though. And, oh, baby. Okay, so he had just the relic queued for a while, and I was like, nah. And then he switched back to Nullifier. I was like, all right, that's cool. Oh, I've left a kid. Is this really the way to do it? Is this, don't lose this rapier. This would be the most fitting way for this league to end with how many rapiers have been won and lost.
The jump in, tries to get the kill mid when he gets the dark back off and everything. Able to escape the ulti. Oh my God,
it's
that was
the only way
reveal.
this can end. It's the only way.
It has to happen.
Epic League.
It is the most epic of leagues, Trent. And Roche instant spawn yet again. They're moving back in, trying to get it. Big one, he kills it. Right top almost broken. They get the kill. The terrorize comes afterwards, but the BKB was in time. Mid one able to live, but the jump in from Shadow Demon save. Able to get the rundown and looking for more. 80 seconds on the sideline. Seb barely able to make the escape. Unbelievable.
Tops is still here. DM is hunting a little bit here, I think.
Oh, they're trying. They're thinking about it. Nope, they can't get it. And now, Thompson disrupted. Saves on top of him. All the damage in the world. Can they control? Can they get him? No, it does not look like it, as Thompson will have Blink back up in a moment. They're trying. I mean, they're chasing constantly. They're buying.
I was gonna say
for Slark.
I couldn't find anything on their heroes, guys. They left everything in the pit. There's a cheese and a refresher shard. I'm clicking heroes like crazy.
Okay, that's a little scary. Also, Epileptic Kid is in. There's nobody here, dude. You don't have a BKB. What is happening? Oh, he's still he's fine. He's fine.
Yeah, but come on, cheese, refresher shard. Team,
it's all in the base. Oh, Virtus Pro, so often it's been their patience that's won them the game. Are they getting a little bit too ahead of themselves
right
here?
Now.
Jumping in, trying to find Thompson. The coil is there. Gotta be careful, buddy. Hex comes out from Willow. Onto Willow, rather. Epileptic Kid turns on a Seb now. Oh, that's a lot of damage onto him. The crits are available, and Seb will fall. No buyback. 89 seconds. Virtus Pro, they can taste it. They want this game in the bag here. Another glyph is used with the repair kit, but that rapier damage, it might all be too much. They need to do it without the Dark Willow and without the Magnus.
The Dream Coil, too, just not being there is so painful for them. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Wait, is there the repair kit still lurking, or is that the third? That was all of them. So they're not going to have it to like sneak in on the melee or anything like that. They can't play it any further.
Mid one got a bounty rune. That gives Viper or Magnus the buyback.
That's Megas, though.
That's Megas. They have Empower, but it's dangerous. Danger. What are Virtus Pro going to do here? Do they want to take this fight? They jump in. They want it. They want the victory. They want the grand finals win. Epileptic Kid is going to get caught for a moment, but he jumps in further. He doesn't care at all. Still hanging with that Aegis. Meanwhile, the Timbersaw jumps in. The RP pulls him back into the fountain. Do they have enough? The Viper is going to go down. The Ghost Scepter wasn't enough. Oh my God, can they kill the PA? Leashed up, trying to run away from there, and they're going to try and turn this now. The fountain is the only place that's safe for you, but it's not safe. Mid-one is going to fall afterwards. Virtus Pro, with everybody gone, are going to turn their sights onto the Ancient. Thompson rooted. He wants to stop Epileptic Kid, but I don't think it's going to happen. Thompson trying to run and stop these creeps. There's so many in the base right now. Are Virtus Pro really going to back? There's no Slark for 70. Oh, they're thinking about going back in again.
They're getting their creeps. They're getting ready.
Time to jump. Looks for one. Doesn't find him. No BKB for 35 seconds. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, the disruption. No, it saves life. That would have been enough. Save in the game yet again if they got him into the fountain. I'm there to think what would have happened at that point. But tier 4 towers now still alive. OG frantically trying to hold on here. They jump in and the crit. 3,800 damage in your face. He waited for his moment and he found it. And now the Ancient exposed. Thompson trying desperately to hold on. He has another coil, but there's creeps all up in this one. Epileptic eyes on the prize. BKB back up in a couple seconds with the fear and the stun. It's going to connect. Trying to bring him down in time, but the